Okay, so good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to go through some housekeeping items first before we get into the presentation. I'm going to have everyone muted so that Julia has the floor. And then I have a request that if anyone has any questions throughout this, you hover over your screen to ask the question through the chat. There's a little chat button at the bottom. And we're going to get that to the end. So first and foremost, my name is Brittany Cartwright. I'm with the Palm Beach North Chamber of Commerce. Thank you all for joining today. We are going to be talking about employment. So one second, I'm getting notifications on my computer. Okay, so Julia Dattolo is our speaker for today. She's the Interim President and CEO of CareerSource Palm Beach County. She is a retired Navy commander who served in the U.S. Navy Nurse Corps and Nurse Corps Reserves for 22 years. Julia received her Bachelor's of Science degree from the University of New Hampshire and her Master's degree from UCLA. After retirement and a few years off enjoying her family, Julia rejoined the workforce to assist disabled veterans get back to work. Her work at CareerSource Palm Beach County resulted in her managing the veterans and healthcare units before expanding into re-entry services. Her path at CareerSource continued and she was promoted to Vice President of Business Services and now serves in the capacity of Interim President and CEO. Julia is also an executive board member of the Wounded Veterans Relief Fund. She and her husband, Dr. Robert Dattolo, reside in Palm Beach Gardens and have 2 grown children. Without further ado, take it away.
Thank you so much, Brittany, and thank you to Palm Beach Chamber North for giving me this opportunity to speak today about jobs, because that's the hot topic throughout the world, actually, not just Palm Beach County. And I want to take you on a little trip first to show you what we looked like 6 months ago. 6 months ago, Florida's workforce was actually looking for job seekers. Our unemployment rate dropped to 2.8%, always lower than 3%. We always were lower than Florida in our unemployment rate, which virtually is virtual employment for us. And we were trying to find people to put into jobs and got very creative. And then it kind of all stopped, didn't it? We were the world's 17th largest economy. We have a very diversified economy, which will help Palm Beach County in the long run. But 79% of the state's revenue comes from sales and taxes, use taxes, such as hotels and bed tax. And right now we have a situation where we have lost a lot of our workforce that is working with our primary industries, such as hospitality, retail, and restaurants. So when you put those 3 together, there's a lot of people who've become unemployed. So what our role at CareerSource is to assist local businesses in hiring individuals. And we work with job candidates to find employment and provide training to get them to a better level so they can be employed. And we have all kinds of populations that we work with. We work with professionals, CEOs, all the way down to those people returning from incarceration. And we've been successful in every single avenue. We have departments that specialize in veterans, young adults that have become dislocated, and we pull them back into the community and into work. We have a phenomenal disabilities team, and we have a great reentry team that helps those, as I said, come back from incarceration. What we are not is the unemployment office. So with that being said, right now, because we are trying to assist local businesses get back on their feet, to rehire people into their jobs, we are helping those people try to get back on their feet. So for those people who have lost their jobs, we have repurposed CareerSource. And what we're trying to do in CareerSource Florida and the Florida Chamber have kind of adopted these 4 R's. And so I'm going to use them today. The first one is relieve. How do we provide immediate assistance and job support? Well, right now, floridajobs.org is the website that everybody's going to. This website has been totally repurposed. CareerSource itself has repurposed itself. What we've done is we are helping by taking most of our employees and putting them on the phones and on the computers remotely to answer questions on how do you get unemployment assistance. We call it reemployment assistance. So we direct everybody to the floridajobs.org webpage. If you were affected by COVID-19, if your business closed, if you were laid off, or even if you were furloughed, and if your job cut your hours, you are entitled to apply for reemployment assistance. The webpage that you go to is floridajobs.org. And I tell you to go there because all the information is there. They have really done a wonderful job of redoing this webpage. Now, this is not the webpage that you all hear about because that's the application webpage. But this webpage, floridajobs.org, if you take a look down at the bottom, you'll see 3 prompts for individuals, for employers, and for communities. So taking the coordination of all the information regarding loans, short-term compensation, reemployment assistance, all the information from state and federal partners, you will find on this webpage. It's an excellent webpage for information. And when you go to, let's say, individuals, you will find this webpage. Now here, in this section right here, is for reemployment assistance. So if you find yourself unemployed, questioning whether you can get unemployment benefits, apply. Now there's several ways to apply, but here's the most important thing. The second prompt, Reemployment Assistance Resource Guide, has been completely refurbished. It's about 35 pages long, but it takes you from am I eligible all the way to appeals and adjudication. So there is so much information and it's all frequently asked questions. I urge you to, before you even think of applying, to really go through this guide because it'll answer a lot of your questions that we answer daily at CareerSource. And then Connect program. The Connect program is the program that everybody hears about on the news and the TV. It's the one that keeps going down that they're trying to fix. So to date, let me give you an update on it. The Connect program is closed on the weekends and it's closed in the evenings from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. And the purpose for that is to kind of keep making modifications to it and improving it. On top of that, they have now added the paper application that everybody's hearing about. The paper application is the reemployment assistance application that you will find on the Connect website, but it's for you to apply with pen and paper the old-fashioned way. Those applications are available at all the libraries, the public libraries, I should state, and also available at your CareerSource front doorsteps. And they're available in English, Creole, and Spanish. The reemployment assistance guide is as well available in those languages. Now, you can mail it in or you can try to apply online. You can do either or. If you think you're entitled to benefits, just go ahead and reapply. The worst thing they can say is you're not entitled to anything. So those are the 3 ways those are the ways you can apply. And then on the other side, there is the prompt for businesses. If you are a business owner and you need assistance, there's several different ways that you can get assistance as well, whether it's a small business, bridge loans, short-term compensation, things like that. These are all on the website itself. I want to give you a sample of what's inside this reemployment assistance FAQ guide that I pointed out earlier. So for example, if I submitted a paper application, how will I be informed that you got it? You will actually receive a phone call, email, or letter after your application has been processed. And they'll have some questions to add to it, and you might have to submit some documentation, supportive documentation, the picture of your driver's license, your social security, things like that. I warn you though, please, there are scam artists out there right now that are calling people saying they are the unemployment office or they can help you with your unemployment claims. Be very, very careful who you're talking to. Most importantly, they will not ask you for your full social security number because they have it. You gave it to them already. And they will not ask you for a credit card. This process is at no cost to anybody, the business owner or the employer or employee looking for employment assistance. It is no cost. Do not give out a credit card. Do not give out your social security number. You will still get benefits. So please be cautious and careful. The other way that you can apply for the online application is the paper application actually has an app on your phone. If you go to floridajobs.org/RA application, that you can fill out the form simply on your phone. All right, and then once all that is submitted, they'll tell you what other information they need. But as long as they receive your application, you have started the process of unemployment. Now, there are a lot of 1-800 numbers, and there's a lot of information, again, please read this all up in the employment assistance FAQs on that webpage. In addition to that, they have a great explanation of the CARES Act. They can actually help. There's a section for businesses as well. So what are the programs in the CARES Act? People always want to know, am I going to get my $600? How to apply for $600? You don't actually apply for the $600. It's provided to you. It's a benefit that's available that started on March 29th and goes through January 31st, depending on when you applied for your unemployment compensation. And I believe that these are going to be paper checks for the most part, unless you've paid taxes and they have your account already in the system. There's also pandemic unemployment assistance. They have expanded unemployment assistance to those people who we call 1099ers, or people who are self-employed, they're gig workers. You might be an Uber driver, an Instacart person, you might be in finance and you are a 1099 self-employed individual. For those people, in the past, you have not been able to apply for unemployment. Now you can. So for those people, for example, in finance, right now you might still be getting your checks from previous accounts that you've worked on, but now that there's no business going on, in the next few months, you're going to start feeling the pain. While other people are very desperate right now, hurt tremendously by the system being down, you will be able to apply as well. They're working out the kinks on that, but you just need to keep track of your paperwork and go ahead and apply. As soon as that application is in, the date is locked in. So stay in tune for that. The pandemic emergency unemployment compensation adds to the regular reemployment assistance benefits. So it helps you collect for a longer period of time. So those funds still, I think, need to be figured out as well. But these answers change every single day. I can tell you that 2 days ago, this reemployment FAQ page was 32 pages. It's up to 36. So they keep changing the information and updating it. So please check back to this website, floridajobs.org, for the most up-to-date information. The other place to go is if you're looking for a job, or if you're an employer who wants to find job candidates, go to our website, which is employflorida.com. And there you can actually look for a job. The beauty of employflorida.com is that it merges and spiders in all of the jobs from other web searches. So for example, Career Builder, Indeed, they all are spidered into our system. So you might be directed to one of our own recruiters, or you might be directed out to a different source to apply for your job, but at least they're all posted here. It also allows you to create a resume. It allows you to do some education and training or apply for it. In addition, if you're an employer, you can post your job. You can look at market trends in the employment industry and in our community. And you can also help find a candidate for your own positions. So it's really a good resource. And on top of that, CareerSourcePDC.com has a virtual career system for people to look at high demand jobs, to look for programs and training. So if you're sitting at home, you're waiting for your unemployment check, you've been trying all day long to apply for unemployment compensation, or if you're sitting at home because you have children at home that are at home and not in school, and you're homeschooling them, you really want to take a look at, is this where I want to be? Is this what I want to do? Am I in a job that's not overly secure if something like this happens? What industry, what other high demand jobs could I potentially be in? And take a good look at yourself and say, where do I want to go from here? Am I very happy in my career? Do I want a better job? Do I need a better resume? Plan it out. And if you can do that with our virtual career system. So you can take a look at the high demand jobs. You can take a look at what they pay. Do they have a future in Palm Beach County? What are the resources and trainings that I have to be successful in that job? Or how can I be better at my own job? And what trainings and programs can I have to be better in it? Make yourself that superstar within your own career. So that is our virtual career system. The other thing that we do is career expos. CareerSource is very good about putting on job fairs where we bring together talent to our employers. This is kind of going by the wayside right now due to our situation with COVID-19. So what we've done is we've had to get creative too. And tomorrow we're having our very first virtual job fair. We've partnered with Premier Virtual and Boca Raton Innovation Campus and South Florida Tech. And they have been great partners in trying to set up this virtual job fair. So we have about 300 plus job seekers and employers that will be meeting tomorrow from 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening. So we're going to see how it goes. We're trialing this out for the first time too. We're in the same boat of trying to use technology. Our employees are home working from home. We're going to try to do a job fair from home. So give it a shot. Take a look at it. So how do we restart? We're talking about, we just did relieving and the immediate assistance that you can apply for, but how to restart? What are the critical sectors? Take a look at, these are our targeted key industries in Palm Beach County. Now we know healthcare and life sciences has a lot of job security right now. Hospitality and tourism and the restaurant industry took a hit. But within Palm Beach County, we have a lot of other key industries that we work with. Aviation, aerospace, information technology is a great field to go into, as if you can't imagine all these new platforms for how we do businesses are coming out. Marine and construction, manufacturing is coming into Palm Beach County, finance and professional, and I have to add another one for our Western communities, agriculture. So these are targeted key industries. These are the industries you want to take a look at and say, if these are in Palm Beach County, where can I work? Where do my talents lie? And what are my talents and how can I transfer those skills to another job in another industry that might have more security? Or how do I improve myself within my own key industry? So take a look at these and we'll discuss some of them later, but each one of them has a chamber, has a professional association, or you can even talk to the business development board because they are bringing in industries all the time to Palm Beach County. For those people who have companies and are small businesses, on-the-job training, customized training, incumbent worker training. From what we've seen in our data, a lot of businesses have laid off people, but they haven't laid them all off. They've furloughed probably 2/3 of them. So several businesses have taken 2/3 and furloughed them, 1/3 and laid them off. What does that mean? Furlough means you have every intention of rehiring that individual. And you might have continued your health benefits, or you continued maybe some smaller severance package with them. But those that have been laid off have been laid off. That tells us you're keeping the cream of the crop. So there are those people that are furloughed. You still can apply for unemployment benefits, but you have to be ready, willing, and able to go back to work when your employer calls you. And those that have been laid off can seek other job opportunities and apply for reemployment assistance. A lot of companies have temporarily furloughed their employees. For those people going back to work, businesses are going to start working smarter, and they're going to take their employees, shrink them down, and make sure they're working 100% of the time, and upskilling them, cross-training them. This is a perfect time to take a look at customized training if you're an employer. How do I upgrade the skills of my staff? What national or industry certifications do they need? Before people go back to restaurants and in the malls and stores, they're going to take a look at, is it safe for me? Do I trust this restaurant? How do I trust this hotel? What do I have to do? What do I have to look for? As a business owner, you need to be looking for, how do I build that trust? How do I increase the training of my staff to ensure that the customers coming in feel comfortable? So obtaining national and industry certifications is a bragging point. It upskills your staff, and you can use incumbent worker training or state funding for this customized training. All this information is available at our website at CareerSourcePBC.com. So that's another way that businesses can help themselves as well, and we can help the businesses. So how do we recover? Are we going to return to a pre-crisis COVID-19 situation? I don't believe we're going to go back 100%. I think we'll go back about 75 to 80%, but we are going back. This is a blip in time. This is not something like the Great Depression that happened right after World War II. This is, not World War II, excuse me, but happened many years ago. That this is a pre-crisis to a blip in time that will improve shortly. Jerry Parrish, our state economist with the Florida Chamber, states that the earliest we'll come back is December to January, and the latest we'll come back is 2024. So there's a wide window of time of when we're going to be coming back. But we want to be able to recover. And how does CareerSource help you with that recovery? Helping businesses relocate and expand, working with business development boards, the economic industry, state and local government, chambers of commerce, colleges and universities. we work all together as a group, as in sector strategies, where we work with each individual sectors, and we pull together a plan between the three sectors. That is the jobs, the economy, the businesses, and the educational institutions. And we work together to make more jobs, also employ those jobs, people in the job-seeking community, and educate them as well. So as we work together, we help businesses relocate and expand by providing that work-ready resource for them. And then how do we reimagine? How do we transform Florida's economy? I love this slide. This is from the Florida Chambers. When we want to take a look at pulling together a vibrant community that has jobs, quality education, and competitiveness, and a very successful community, we have to take a look at all of these pillars. But the one pillar that CareerSource works with the most is the education and training and talent support. It's the first column. There we provide the talent supply for our county. We also provide talent supplies with training grants. We help educate our talent in Palm Beach County to upskill and to work together with businesses to meet the business's needs. By meeting the business's needs, they can grow, they can hire more people, and they provide services to our community and actually globally. So with that, CareerSource helps with the unemployment aspect right now with the relief, all the way to how are we going to rebuild, restore, and actually reimagine a new Palm Beach County. So with that, Brittany, I'm available for any questions.
Wonderful. So this is the question portion of our webinar. If anyone has any questions, they can either type it into the chat box, or if they would like to speak it, they can unmute themselves and go and ask that question. Okay, here's one. Do you have a counselor with whom I could discuss my resume to determine if CareerSource is in need, is seeking someone in need for the market for someone with my skills? I'm a business consultant whose client base has gone away during COVID-19, and it may be necessary to pursue other employment.
Absolutely. So you're a business consultant. So as far as that goes, we do have career counselors that are industry specific that can assist you with, I'm not sure what business consulting you were doing, but we have industry specific recruiters and consultants that can help you, especially with your resume. When we will be up and open, we actually have a resume writing class that is Monday through Thursday, every day, no cost, where you can go in. But on top of that, you can actually do your resume online at our virtual career systems. And if you would like, you can use CareerSourcePVC.com and contact one of our business associates. And my email is jdattolo@CareerSourcePVC.com. You can send your resume to me, and I will forward it to the appropriate person.
Okay, Julia, it's me, Paul Hamady. I was asking. So it's finance background, business capacity building, all kinds of stuff. So thanks, appreciate it.
Not a problem. And you're with the RAND Corporation, if I remember correctly.
RAND Strategic Solutions, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Paul. Yeah. Gotcha. So jdattolo@CareerSourcePVC.com. Send in your resume.
Okay.
I just put that in the chat, so if anyone wants to take that email, feel free to. Okay, so here's another question. If we mailed in our form, is there a way to see where we are in their pipeline, or do we need to wait for a call or a letter?
So both, actually. They're doing something new at the state right now. I haven't seen it yet, but it's coming. So when you submit your paper application, the application itself has to be validated first. And this is where people get frustrated, because there's a 2 to 3 week window. They have to validate all your employment for the last jobs that you've had in the last 18 months. So if you've had one job, that's great. But if you had 3 or 4, they actually contact each of the employers to see, have you really worked there and did you garnish those wages? So that takes some time. They are doing a dashboard, let's say, that actually shows how many applications have been in and how many have been processed and how many have been paid out. So that dashboard is coming. It should be here any day. On top of that, you will be contacted once your application is in. And they will provide you with your account and your PIN number so you can go in to see what's going on with your application.
Okay, and then going back to that South Florida Tech Virtual Career Expo you're doing tomorrow, is there still spots available for people? And if so, what's the detailed information on it?
So it's virtual, anybody can go. Just look up South Florida Tech. It's actually, if you go to CareerSourcePBC.com, which is that website that's up right now, one of the banners that goes by it is actually a link to right to it. And you can enroll, it's no cost to you.
Perfect. And then I think you wanted to mention a task force that you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah, so when we talk about rebuilding and reopening Palm Beach County, as you know, today the governor is actually talking with representation across the state on how to reopen Florida in waves, basically. But one of the things that we're doing here in Palm Beach County is that with Discover of the Palm Beaches, FAU, the Florida Restaurant Association, and HRPBC, we are actually taking a look at all the hotels that are and restaurants that are going to be reopening up. When are they reopening up? How many people are going to rehire? So we can give that whole industry a boost and a jump start. And so that task force is working hard right now at assessing who's opening up and when they're opening up so we can put people back to work very quickly. Thanks for asking, Brittany. I appreciate it.
Yes, sure. Okay, any further questions? Anyone have any other questions for Julia? And again, feel free to unmute yourself. You can do that by clicking on your name in the participant section of the webinar. Okay, I don't see anyone unmuting themselves or submitting a question. So with that, I believe that we are completed. If you have any questions for Julia, I did put her email address in the chat box, and I'm happy to send it over to you if you guys didn't get a chance to get to it. You can, of course, email me. My information is on pbnchamber.com. Or, of course, please go to the CareerSourcePBC.com website as well for further information on everything that Julia had spoken about today. So, Julia, I want to thank you for your time that you dedicated to this, especially with the situation that's happening right now. I know it's very helpful for people right now with COVID-19. And I thank you so much for your time, and I thank everyone for their time today.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Julie. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.
You too.